Welcome to Jerking Around, a podcast that makes you feel better about yourself because we're a mess, just like you.
And Crystal makes fun of me the whole time.
And it's great, and it's real. Welcome to Jerking Around. Today,
we talk about Tesla robot.
Body count.
New term. I've never heard of it.
Body count's serious.
Yeah.
Girls these days, you got to keep it down. That's how many people you've been with.
Crystal's body count's over 100. We're just really...
It is
It was upsetting to learn that.
No, and make sure you go for the guy that's more into you than you are to him.
Yeah.
Okay, jerking around. Oh my gosh, the other night, we were at, my daughter had a birthday party, and Tisha and her husband were over, and their friends were over, and he kept saying jerking off.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Me and my daughter are listening to your podcast, jerking off. We
Yeah.
were dying laughing about that.
Yeah.
But it's jerking around, not jerking off.
No.
We tried to rebrand for weeks.
It didn't really bother me, though.
Well, that's telling. You don't mind being called jerking off.
But
it's
he
like
didn't
your
forget
20s
it.
all over
He didn't
again.
forget the jerkin. I feel like that's the, the kicker.
The jerkin. Tell me about your life. What's going on? We got these new mic things. Tisha's really excited. We're dressed like twins today. If you're not watching, it's really something. We never dress alike. And I actually sent her my outfit because I had my gallbladder out last week, so I wanted something comfortable. And then she's like, I literally have the same outfit on.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
funny.
pretty funny.
But in our industry with real estate, it's been really dark.
Yeah.
So we're excited. We're seeing the market pick up already. Even if you don't love the candidate, I do think business-wise, it's going to be a good thing. I think people, that's what they were saying.
Economy-wise, it's going to be good for everybody.
Maybe the other side was a little tone deaf to how much people were hurting financially. Right. And I do agree with that. And if you take...
Well, that wasn't even addressed
at all
in the campaign, where that's all that was addressed in the other it was
Trump.
like the cost of everything, the cost of living, everyone's struggling, and I feel like it is tone deaf to completely not even like let's have like a pop star on stage, but not address the fact that most people can't afford groceries.
Well, and the pop stars were horrible. Like there's this whole thing going on about P. Diddy. Like I'm so into it because it's so crazy the things that have gone on that if P. Diddy's doing it, all of his friends are doing it, which is all these people that we've not looked up to, but kind of.
Yeah.
A lot of people look up to.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this whole thing, we're going to have Beyonce come on. And
J-Lo.
And J-Lo, who was married to P. Diddy. It was so tone deaf in that regard.
Dated,
There's so many more liberals you could have had on stage that would have been more beneficial.
Yeah.
But J-Lo? I mean, I'm not taking J-Lo advice for much.
Well, that's why I said her picker is
her picker is so bad.
It's the worst picker ever. So don't pick anything.
Whatever she's picking.
I'm picking the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And marriage advice, not taking it from J-Lo.
Not J-Lo.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Is J-Lo okay?
Maybe
skincare?
Yeah, skincare. I'm
Whatever
listening.
she eats, I'll eat it.
Abs? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your ab routine? I'm listening.
That's really it. Even parenting, I wouldn't really, where are her kids?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't really take that. But that's what's funny about the celebrities talking about politics. It's no matter what side you're on, they live such a different life than us, with healthcare and
they're not worried about healthcare.
Exactly. Their needs and what they have
on
a regular basis, even groceries, they don't even do their own grocery shopping. I mean, a lot of us use Instacart now too, but it's just different. So when we're listening to pop stars' influence on presidency, just think it's laughable.
Or ones that don't have a family or kids or anything, I'm it's not even relatable to what's going to affect, because I'm thinking what's going to affect my kids and their kids and ongoing.
Celebrities' kids are in a different element.
Half of them do it. Taylor Swift was a childless cat lady. I'm that's not really something I'm striving to be.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Have you seen that thing that Taylor Swift and Jason Kelce are fake?
They're 100% fake. I've said it since the very beginning, and then their contract was leaked, remember?
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But people have just moved on from it.
Yeah.
But you really think that?
I think it's totally fake.
That's funny. Another thing I think...
It's the book, The Seven Wives of Evelyn Hugo. Or The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Have you read that book?
No.
So it's a really good book. It's interesting. She's a celebrity in the 40s. And it was before you could come out. So she was gay. But she couldn't be with the person she wanted to be with. So that was her best friend. And then she married all these husbands for
Like the mustache.
Yes. And then, but it was like, she married this one because her career was dwindling. So then they got married.
Oh.
And it talked about how like everyone fell for it. And like when she needed to like work on her image, she would marry someone based on that. It was all about her relationships were all for image. And the whole time she was like in love with her best friend and they were together in a relationship.
Wow.
I'm like, that happens all the time. I'm just saying.
So who do you think that's happening to that you just didn't want to talk about?
No,
J-Lo.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, I think J-Lo's done that a bunch and it didn't go well.
Well,
Do you
I read
think
Will Smith is like gay and that his wife was just his like beard forever. Or I didn't read that. I heard that from somebody
the stuff
who
about
knew.
his son with P. Diddy? It's awful. The things they said went on are awful. All of it. Justin Bieber, all of it.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
let's talk about Kim Kardashian. Okay, Elon Musk with Trump has been a big thing. And his, the Kennedy, what's the kids?
RFK, yeah.
Yeah, and the FDA sounds super interesting
Yeah.
that they're going to make some big changes. But Elon is such an intriguing person to me just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on his let's say Instagram reels, like him talking business, just like Trump. I read Trump's book years and years ago. I actually interviewed for The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Like I've like Trump as a businessman for years.
Yeah.
And his books are so good business wise. But Elon's kind of the same. I'm just intrigued by his like mind. And
Right.
he was doing a bunch of talks about college and how he doesn't want his kids going to college.
Right.
And I totally kind of agree with that. I don't know. I don't
Totally.
use my degree. My husband doesn't use his degree. I do think there's something to the 4 years of like not
Yeah.
growing up. You know, getting to like be in a dorm with all your friends.
Like high school part 2 without
Yeah.
having to be an adult yet.
Yeah, like I don't want my kids to start working at 18 and then that's their life.
I think it's, if you're going to get a scholarship or you have the money, it's different. I think to go into debt for $100,000 or $50,000 more.
Yeah, it's so bad now.
Like for a degree that will not get you any farther, it's hard to justify that.
Yeah.
Then you're starting off kind of like, I want my kids to own their own business. I'm like,
do I.
let's start going in that direction. So then by the time you're 40, you're like
Set.
doing good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I do want them to have more of the entrepreneur mindset. It's funny
Yeah.
because when we were growing up, doctors and lawyers were the big money
Yeah,
makers.
go to school, get all this. Yeah.
And now it's not.
It's like, go be a plumber and have your own plumbing company.
Yeah.
And you'll be, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But Kim Kardashian, let's talk about that. It was just on the news yesterday. It was a big thing that she bought a robot, a Tesla robot.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Tesla robot?
Oh, I think it's so weird and creepy. And I
do
would
too.
not want
I worry,
that in my
like, could
house.
they choke you out?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
not
that
in a good
movie
way?
with Will Smith, the
Yes.
iRobot. Yeah, but it's funny. It's so weird that it's like, I was telling you, she's like, it's like the gift for someone who has everything. Like, what do you get her? Now she's getting a robot. Like, she literally has everything, so now she's buying robots.
Do you think the robot's like her companion?
No, but
Do you think the robot has body parts?
like a strap on.
Yeah.
I think it's just to have like
I know,
the
but it's
newest
scary.
thing.
Would
I
you
don't
want one of those in your house?
No. I
Do you
feel
see
like
what
it's
they
gonna
can
be
do?
Weird. Yeah,
they
do
do
you
like
think,
laundry.
I know. Do you think? Well, that I wouldn't mind. I have one of those. His name's Ben.
That's so sad.
That's so rude. Cut it
No,
out.
it's funny. It's
No,
fine.
yeah.
I'm the robot at my house.
Yeah.
I had surgery last week. You should see my house right now. Nothing's getting done.
No.
Kyle's trying, but my husband, he's
No, I called him when you got home that night, and I was like, "Okay, I'll pick up the kids for school in the morning." He's like, "Oh no, she's fine. She's walking around." I'm like, "Oh my god."
I know. It's
so
something else.
tone
I know.
deaf. I'm like-
He's not the most nurturing. I wouldn't say nurturing is a strength of his.
I'm not. It's not a strength of mine.
Yeah, you're right. You would
But-
say the same about Ben.
He's very nurturing.
But you would be like, Ben's fine.
Yeah, I would.
You
I'd be
would.
like, "Oh, let's go." You know.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Oh
he
yeah,
is.
I remember when he had his vasectomy and we were going to the pumpkin patch and I had to take the kids by myself. It was when they were little and I was so annoyed. I'm like, oh. You know, like I'm like, put on your jock strap and get the hell in the car. Like, so annoying. He's like, I can't go to the pumpkin patch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not asking you
I've
to run
heard
a-
it's pretty painful though.
I'm like, I'm not asking you to run a marathon. Well, he got the one and then he got the reversal.
Wait, let's talk about that. So what happened?
I
So
feel like
after
people pretty much know.
there's no people. These are people that don't even know us.
True.
So how do they know?
Yeah.
What
So
people
my
are you talking about?
So we had 2 kids back to back, 18 months apart, 16 months apart, whatever. And then we adopted our oldest at the same time when our youngest one was 1. Well, we started working on the adoption process when he was a couple weeks old. So it's very hectic. And he's 2 years older than my oldest. So it was like, we went from 0 kids to 3 kids in like 2 years, less than 2 years. So it was like a little stressful. So we jumped the gun, got a vasectomy. And then right away I was like, we shouldn't have got that. Cause I like knew.
Right away?
Like soon.
Really?
Yes. Like I would say.
So you had it after Bear. Mm-hmm. How old was Bear?
I think he was like 1. It was during right during that time. And it was like.
Were we friends then?
I think we were on a break.
Yeah, because I would have talked you out of that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was during the break.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So we got a vasectomy. And then like right away I just had this feeling like we shouldn't have done that. So then almost like soon after, like within a year, we started talking about reversing.
We started or you did?
I started planting the seed of reversing it. I was like, oh, I wish we had another kid, you know? And then, well, especially as things calmed down. First, he was like, you're nuts. But then as things calmed down, you know, you find your groove with all the kids. Then he was like, oh, yeah, I could see another one. And then I started doing all the research. And then I found this place in Tucson. And it's called, we've told this story all the time. People ask hard. It's called Dad's Again. It sounds like so weird. But
so it's not everybody does a reversal. No, it's like very.
Yes, it's like microscopic surgery. So it's like so specialized. So we found this doctor in Tucson that specializes. People come from all over the world to see this doctor.
Yeah, because I was back in your life when you got the reversal.
So we talked about it for I think 2 years before he finally did it. Like it was so
during
slow.
the dark time.
Yes, because Bear was like 3 by the time we started talking about it, and then it took a year to get it and then a year to get pregnant. So yeah, he literally was like, so we called this place Dad's Again, and Ben was like, this seems weird. And it's like we had to drive.
Sounds so weird.
We had to drive to Tucson, stay in a hotel, and then he had to go in the morning to this place, and it was crazy.
Who watched the kids? Did I? I did.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Dad's Again.
Yeah, Dad's Again. But then you get invited to this like party every year where it's all the dads again. That like if it was successful, you get to come and have this like Father's Day party. And it's crazy.
But what if it didn't work? You don't get to go to the party?
No. Yeah. No, but it's so basically they explained it for anyone wondering because I actually have had people reach out to me on Instagram about it. Yeah. So the sooner that you get the surgery to the initial vasectomy, the higher chance of it being successful. Okay. So the longer time that you've have the vasectomy, the less chance. So like Ben had only been a couple years. So there was a really good chance that it was going to work. But they said the longest one they had done was 20 years post vasectomy.
Who's having a kid 20 years later?
Probably
did it work?
Some like old guy.
Did he get to go to the party?
Yes. I kind of want to go to the party now. We never went because, you know, I'm like
Is it every
antisocial.
year?
I'm antisocial. I'm like, that's my worst nightmare, talk to a bunch of strangers. But yeah, they do like a Father's Day.
Do you bring your...
I don't know. But it's this, if you want more information, if you want a reversal.
Dad's Again. Okay, so Ben got the reversal.
Again.
Then tell what happened. It took how long?
It took about 6 months and I got pregnant, but then I had a miscarriage. And then... after that,
talking about that though, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So you're unemotional.
Yes.
And she doesn't get bothered by much, but that miscarriage did mess with you more than you thought.
Yeah. I don't know if it was hormones or if it was mental. No, I think it was
harder than you, because you might be the type that'd be like, yeah, move on.
Yeah,
and
it was.
When you went through it, you thought this was harder.
Well, I think when you have a miscarriage, I had like guilt about getting the reversal because I had this thing where like I felt like we already had so much that I was being like selfish about wanting more.
To be a dad again?
Yes, to be a dad's again. And I was like, I had like an inner battle with like.
You did?
Yes.
I never knew that.
No, because I don't talk.
Well, did you feel like you were playing God with tying it up, untying it?
And I felt like something bad was going to happen or like we were going to have like a child with a disability. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that is a fear. Every parent wants a healthy kid. Yeah. So I had this like thing that I was like pushing the envelope, like we have 3 healthy kids. Are you like wanting too much? And then like someone talked to me. I don't even remember who it was. Maybe it was you. And they were like, a child is a blessing from God. Like wanting more of those is like a good thing. Like I think it's society gets in your head too.
Yeah, that it's selfish.
Yes.
It's like the farthest thing.
It was. And I felt selfish wanting more kids.
I think it was me.
I think it was too.
I don't agree with that at all.
And you were like, this is a blessing from God. Like it's like the greatest gift you can And so that changed my mind. I was like, okay, because I kept like having this like weird thing, thinking something bad was going to happen. And then when I miscarried, I was like, that was it. I wasn't meant to be. So it was funny because we were buying our new house and we sold our 5-bedroom. We were buying a 4-bedroom. I truly was like, I'm at peace.
You were upset though.
Oh, I was so upset.
Because it took 6 months to get pregnant. Because a lot of people
I never
deal
had
with that.
problem getting pregnant before.
A lot of people deal with that. And you never had a miscarriage before that.
No.
Because that's very common.
And I was younger and then I was older. And then it's just like.
Well, it's geriatric.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're so excited. And then when it's not there, I can't imagine people that go through like 15 of those.
Right.
It's awful.
Or even like 3.
Yeah. Well, you're like.
Because you attach right away, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think your body like goes through so much too. Like you start like feeling like you're gaining weight or your boobs are so, I don't know. You just have so many like physical and emotional things. Like it doesn't happen for the guy right away, but like right away for the girl, you feel it in your body. Yeah. So then to like have that go away, it was just really weird. So yeah, I feel like I was upset about that, right? You
were way more upset than you thought. You would get very emotional about it.
Really?
Yeah, and you're like, it's the hormones. I'm like, well, and it's like sad. And I think at that time, it took like 6 months. You were so excited it happened. And then when it didn't, I think you were right. You were just like, it's not God's plan.
I just thought we weren't meant to get a reversal. We weren't meant to get anything. And I felt like so then I let go of it. And then we got pregnant.
How?
Well, the birds and the bees were having this talk. When a man loves a woman.
No, you sold your house.
Oh yeah,
we moved on.
Well, yeah, so we sold our house. We bought a 4-bedroom, and then when we were building it, we found out we were pregnant, and then, but I was worried the whole time.
I don't remember when you found out. I know we were in New York, and you were partying hard. Yeah, remember?
I'm like, I wasn't doing like hard drugs. It sounds like you were smoking crack in New York. Then you found out you're pregnant.
I had those people.
Yeah, I'm like I had a couple drinks.
That was a great trip, though. It was so fun.
I know. I want to go back.
Yeah, and
I had a couple drinks.
No, so we all go to dinner.
Partying hard.
You were, though. I was like ready for bed, and her and our other friend Jen wanted to go to the clubs. Like
we're like time. I wish I would have gone now.
Really?
Yeah.
We were like 40.
Yeah, and we were like going to go paint the town in New York.
How old were you when you had Fox?
Oh no, we were like 37.
Oh, because it was geriatric.
Yeah, I had him at 38 or 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so how did we get?
That was fun. No.
Wait, you want to go out right now?
Kind of. What's in here? No. No, but yeah. No, remember? And I had to pee, and you guys were like, "You're pregnant," because I kept having to pee.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm not pregnant," and then I got home and I was pregnant.
And you were excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little freaked out.
Yeah, I don't remember
because I was scared.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, am I going to have this again? Yeah. Or like, what if something's wrong with it? I was just like, I felt a lot of guilt until he was here and everything was good. And then.
Yeah, you said though, I think having a kid, I had all my kids close together. So it was like a blur. Mm-hmm. They just kept happening.
Right.
They're like 16 and 21 months. But I did see with Fox, because he is, and it is weird. Her kids' names, if you don't know her, it is weird. Fox and Bear. But I'm so used to it. But people are probably wondering if that's real. Those are really her names.
Yeah.
And then her daughter's name is Coda.
No.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Kennedy.
I was going to say something inappropriate, and then
Go
I
ahead,
stopped myself. No.
About me?
No, just like an inappropriate joke. But I tamed it. No.
Anyways, but like I do think when you wait a while and you get older, when you first have kids, you're all worried about everything. I read that Baby Wise book. It was the worst thing.
And then you were reading it, so I was reading it.
But Maddie is like super type A, and I always wonder if it was because I like had her on such a schedule and like.
Yeah.
But I just felt like with Maddie, I read Baby Wise, which means you put your kids down at this time.
The sleep training book.
Yeah, you make them go to sleep awake. You let them cry it out. You da-da-da-da-da. And Maddie's very routine, and she did sleep through the night at 3 months, which was great, but I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like such a disciplinary that I didn't enjoy like having a baby as much.
Yeah.
And then with Hudson, she was just a real bad baby.
She was
so bad.
Spicy.
So she was the boss.
She's still spicy.
She's so spicy. She came out like that. My mom and I were just talking about it. She cried all the time. My mother-in-law, being as loving as she is, told me, man, Crystal, I've never seen a more unhappy baby. Oh. And as like a new mom, you feel really good about yourself.
Thank you.
I was like, I'm killing it. And then Broxton was a surprise after that.
Yeah.
And I feel like then I just let all the wheels go and there was no structure.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Broxton so much, but he's still the same. Like, I'm like, whatever. But
I never enjoyed a kid as much as Fox. It was like even now, he'll climb on my lap in the mornings and I just smell his hair. It sounds a little creeper.
Yeah,
a
lot.
little like Joe Biden.
Mom again?
Vibes.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm a mom again. Yeah. No, but it's like
I'm so concerned.
cherish but like his baby smell, like, you know.
He's in kindergarten.
Shut the hell up.
Like, you're picturing this, guys.
No,
he's in kindergarten.
No, it's just like something, every moment
You're
that
so
I've
grateful.
had him is such a blessing, and I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe it. It's so
funny because
Yes.
Ben really didn't want another one. She's telling the story about dads again, like Ben was on board. It was not. He was like a hard no. For
He's
like
always a hard no, and
a while.
I always get my way.
Yeah, that's encouraging for those of you out there that maybe don't.
Yeah.
But no,
if you're not getting your way, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, but you have like a good way to go about it. It's not like a fight. It's
No.
like more of a manipulation.
Totally. I know.
Yeah, like it starts
I
off
am kind
like,
of a master manipulator.
yeah, like you drop the hints, then you're loving, then you pray about it, then you let it think it's his idea.
Yeah.
Like I can picture it all.
A lot of incentives, you know?
But Ben was like, if we could say wound tight.
Yeah.
For like the other kids. He was
Yeah.
like more the structured one and very like disciplinary. And with Fox, I feel like he really enjoys him too.
He's whacked with Fox.
Yeah.
Like, he's like so whacked with him. He lets him stay up later than Bear.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what
what's
happened
going
last night?
on? Yeah.
What? So Bear had to go to bed. Bear's in sixth grade.
Yeah.
So I was on the phone with her and I hear her talking to Fox, you get to stay up later than, and I'm like, what's going on over
Yeah,
there?
because Bear's in bed and Ben and him are out. Fox are out there watching TV.
Why?
Because he's obsessed with him. I don't know. It's weird.
But why did Bear have to go to bed?
I don't
you
know.
think Bear's a little pissed?
I mean, I would be. Because I think Bear gets on his nerves. So he's like, get to bed, you know?
And then Fox got to stay up later?
Yeah. He doesn't really ever get on Ben's nerves. It's really crazy.
Bear, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Oh, I love Bear. He's the best.
No, but yeah, you really enjoyed that whole pregnancy and the baby.
The baby is so, like, I recommend anyone who's like worried about a gap, don't be worried about a gap. It's amazing. It's a 6-year gap and it's perfect.
Yeah, I feel like it was completely different. Even with us with Fox, like Fox didn't. It's so funny because I see moms now and I want to tell them all the things that like our moms and mother-in-laws wanted to tell us that we were so annoyed about.
And I did that with him because I knew.
Yes.
I didn't stress about anything. I didn't stress about holding him all the time or having him sleep or any of those weird things.
Feeding, timing, waking him.
Didn't time anything, fed on demand. It was just like I did whatever and he just had to go along with the ride because we were at like older kids games and all this stuff. He's the easiest baby. He now to this day, like,
so go with the flow. I
he
think
can
that's
stay
kind of
up till
where
midnight,
we mess up.
Where Bear, it's like, oh,
'Cause
the
he
other
was
one,
so
I had
scheduled.
the Air on 72, the sound machine, this, and it's like now everything has to be perfect for the others, and like, or they're so like, they're
I almost think we ruin it because we make it like where the kids.
And
think,
I will say that about Maddie, she's not very flexible, you know. No, but I.
Thank you.
She's screwed up. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my oldest daughter.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, she's very like that.
Yes, it's like if things aren't that way, her feathers are ruffled. That's how Ben is.
Yeah.
That's how my other kids are.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I think we think we're doing a good job as a parent, but I was thinking about it the other day. Oh, my sister-in-law had a baby this weekend, and she doesn't really listen, but my mother-in-law had her other kids. Now, this was her 6th kid. She adopted 2, so it's her, she had twins. Then she adopted the 2, and then she had another baby, and then now this is her next baby. But, like, she's a great mom, really good with the newborn and everything. But when we were at the hospital, my mother-in-law woke all her kids and took them to the soccer game, whereas her mom was on her way there, so she would have rather the babies just sleep.
Yeah.
And she was, like, talking to me, and she was like, well, they're naps. And I was thinking, oh, I forget about all that.
Yeah.
But Bonnie, my mother-in-law, she's a really good mom, and she never... her kids are a part of her life.
Yeah.
Like, and I would always get bothered when she would babysit. I'd be like, the nap and the this, and she'd be like, they're fine. And I would be so annoyed. I'm like, no, they're not fine. They're going to be naughty.
Yeah.
Because they're not. And I wish I would have listened to her. Like,
well, you think the world's going to end if you don't have the schedule.
And they will fall asleep.
Yeah.
They will fall asleep and they will do things. But like like with me, Maddie, and you were like that with Ken and Bear, we would get home for the nap and we would get home for the bedtime. But it's like teaching kids that they're the center of the universe instead of teaching kids that you're a part of our life.
Right.
If I were to tell new moms, I would say go on vacation without your kid. like every year, even when they're little.
Right.
And I would say make them a part of your life. Don't rearrange your day for them.
Right.
Because kids are so self-centered these days.
Totally.
Really.
And then you are struggling more when you're
I think
trying
that's why
to
people
cater.
get depressed.
Yes, because you're rearranging your whole life for this baby, and like if they just kind of more fit into it's just so much easier.
Yeah, and I think a lot of postpartum. So I was on bed rest with my 2 girls, and with Maddie, I'm a real busybody. I like to stay real busy. I run around. Even this week, I called Tisha last night all whacked out because I was in bed a lot yesterday because of the surgery. I don't do well like laying down, but so I went from teaching and being at the school like 12, 14 hours a day and loving it to all of a sudden being in bed for 3 months. I could go to the bathroom and that was it. I couldn't really do anything. Yeah. And I really
Which is so crazy.
It was such a gut check for me on who I am. Because a lot of people maybe are friends with me because of my personality. Like I'm fun and I plan fun things and I do these fun things. But then on bed rest, it's really interesting who like shows up.
Right.
Like I didn't see Tisha for 3 months.
That's so rude. No. Why don't you tell them who was the big helper this weekend?
I know. We joke. I must have told her that she's not a good helper.
Yeah.
And I feel very bad about it.
And I'm such a good helper.
So this weekend, she went and got the Chick-fil-A for me. She helped me chaperone Maddie's birthday.
I got the cookies.
We had a 15th birthday. It was like a party. The cops got called. It was getting weird.
Oh,
were you there when the cops
Yeah, that's when I was leaving. I was all...
Anyways, moving on. So I was in bed. So when I had Maddie, I was so excited to get out again that I didn't have the baby blues. I actually get... like a high when I have a kid. It's like the opposite. I don't know if it's like a challenge and like it's all this love and I get like the opposite. I get like, this is fun. Yeah. I love the challenge of it. And with Hudson too, I was on bed rest. So all of a sudden I get to go out to eat and I'm not staying home with like some people, Courtney did the Kourtney Kardashian did the stay home for 30 days. I think that's so weird. The kids need to like, their germs, they need to like go. Yeah. So when we had kids, we finally got to get out. It was like, no more bed rest, let's go. Yeah. So I really think that helped me not get depressed. I find that people that get like, you know, postpartum, they're used to having their own life. And then all of a sudden it's all about this little thing. And your body changes so much. Right. Like your boobs are sagging, your stomach's all wrecked. And then it's about this little thing. I just think it's like so much more that change it's about them rather than me. But also, don't rearrange your whole life for them, and you'll get depressed.
Have the baby with you all the time.
Yeah,
just
I didn't leave him. Yeah, you go to lunch, they cry.
Do things that make you feel good, but be with the baby. Yeah.
We were at a cheer competition a few weeks ago, or a showcase with our team, and one of the coaches there, I've known her since college, and she was walking around with a baby. I think she just had a baby, and it was like a gap. Yeah. And the baby's at the cheer competition. She has the stroller, her whole team, the baby's on the hip. And I thought, oh my gosh, when I had a baby, Maddie was 1 at a cheer competition, but like Kyle had to bring her. I couldn't have her. She's all 4th kid. This is no problem. Yeah. And I'm like, that kid's going to be so adaptable because she's like, and it was on her hip. I think it was sleeping. Yeah. But it was like turned out. Yeah. And she didn't even know. Yeah. And it's so funny. My mother-in-law used to say, they'll sleep if they're tired, they'll fall asleep. And I'm like, no, they need the sound machine. They need all these things. If I were to go back. And even
now, Fox falls asleep anywhere. He's just like so easy and the best. It's crazy.
One of the things I wish that I didn't do, that my sister-in-law just had a baby and she said it was hard to wake. I don't know why we wake them in the middle of the night. Because when my mother-in-law had kids.
Oh, I never did that.
You didn't?
No. They just woke up on their own.
Oh, I had to wake all of mine to feed them because their birth weight dropped so much.
Oh.
Because they were littler babies. Yeah. I'm like, why? And my mother-in-law was always like, never wake a sleeping baby.
No, God. Oh my gosh. I wish I would have known you were doing this. I would have been like, what are you doing?
Moving on from postpartum, let's go back to the Tesla. So there's talk that like Kim is really into Elon because she has a Tesla truck and...
Oh. Is there?
No, he's married with kids.
He's married? He's not married.
Yes, he is. Have you seen his wife? Oh, yeah, he's remarried. He had the other wife.
He's had a few. He has kids with like 6 different people. Yeah. The one Grimes or whatever, that girl. Is that who he's married to?
I don't know.
Because I heard they just bought a house he just bought them a house or something.
Have you seen that Amazon, what's that guy's name?
Jeff Bezos.
He's planning the wedding right now, like this beautiful winter wedding.
To a new girl?
Yeah. Did you hear that story?
No.
He was married 26 years.
Did you see Hugh Jackman?
I know. I loved Hugh Jackman.
And I loved that he was with his wife of so long.
I know.
It's wrong.
I know.
And then he cheated with a co-star.
I know. And he lasted so long.
I know. It made me like him so much less.
I know. But if you're in that environment so long, you're going to cheat.
I know.
But back to Bezos. Have you seen the picture? I love the picture of when he has like Amazon hanging and it's like on a cloth. Mm-hmm. So she stayed with him while he built his whole business.
Right.
And then when he's a trillionaire.
So when you're famous on jerking around, are you going to ditch me?
That's why we don't want to be famous. And that's why we have a pod daddy. Not everyone does.
Yeah.
He'll keep us grounded.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's true. You let the fame and all that stuff like ruin you.
Right.
And it won't happen to us.
No.
We're not going to let the fame get to us.
No.
I'm really big into visualization. I read this book. It was the best book.
Like manifesting?
No, not fully manifesting because it's with God.
Yeah.
Like you pray.
Because I don't like the manifesting.
But I think a lot of times people don't believe enough.
Right.
So it's like not like manifesting, but there is something to like
setting a goal and like believing it. And
like when you're going to lose weight, you always see yourself as a skinny person.
Yes.
That's one of my biggest struggles is I've always seen myself as a fuller person. I'm trying to be not negative.
Yeah, good.
But like I don't see myself as that anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't realize you are what you see you are.
No, it's weird because I was doing pictures for Maddie's birthday post and there's some pictures where I was like, oh wow, I was looking not.
But you always acted like and thought you were. And I see pictures of you all the time like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you look better than you've ever looked and you're beating yourself up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
because you have dysmorphia.
Yeah, I do. But I'm going to work on that. But I have like, I'm trying not to care about wrinkles because I read somewhere that like, it was the coolest thing. It's like about the laugh lines around your eyes. And it was like, I can't remember what it was. I got to try and find it. But it was like signs of like a happy life.
Oh,
and then,
that's cool.
I know. And then it like changed my mind about the wrinkles.
I'm glad because you worry about aging so much.
Yeah, because I do. But I was just thinking about these wrinkles right here and how I was like, I got to do something about those. I never had to worry about those before. Now I see them in every picture. And then I read that thing and I was like, oh my gosh, it was so like... It was like that is the sign of like a happy life well lived or something. And it was so... Like it hit me. You know when you read something and it just hits you?
Yeah, I agree.
And I was
Kyle's very big into the natural aging. He's like, it's a part of like life.
Well, when I see, this is why I don't understand. When girls get all the Botox and the fillers, like I get Botox in my forehead, but I'm trying not to get it.
I feel like it looks good.
I only get it every 6 months.
Is it the focaccia or whatever?
The
Washa?
The huasha? Yeah, I know. I've read mixed things on that, but yeah.
Oh, wait. Now you're not into it?
Well, I read that it doesn't do anything for wrinkles, and it's just like...
Have you tried it?
Yeah, I do it every day almost. Oh. But I don't know if it's helping. But anyways.
Do you still do that vagina one?
Yeah. No. The lips.
Would you do it if it kept you younger and tighter? Down there, like
it's
put
tight enough,
but it droops a little.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, a little. It's fine. It's
no,
like a
it
sad
doesn't.
frown.
You haven't even seen my vagina in years.
Okay, let's see it.
Yeah, we're gonna need like a.
Go ahead, though.
What was I saying? No,
the washa, the Botox, the wrinkle lines. You're happy. You're not gonna worry about aging as much. You're gonna work on your dysmorphia.
Right. Dang it! Why did you do that?
It'll come back. It always does.
Oh yeah, no, it was something about that. But yeah, no, I just think. I was like, oh, I'm going to that was what it was. The girls that get all the Botox and fillers, and I get Botox, I'm not judging. And I'm not judging fillers either. But I do think it's a slippery slope. And most people that have it all, you look older.
I agree.
Because young people aren't full of fillers.
Yeah.
So you're giving away your age when your face looks like this.
Oh,
so
100%. I think it looks not good.
Almost always. Like,
well, and I think it starts like a dysmorphia. Like you think it's like the beginning is fine and then you go too far. My mom looks amazing and she's never done a lot of that. She only started doing Botox a few years ago.
She looks amazing.
She's always done like the peels and the moisture.
That's why I started doing the moisture.
Yeah,
and
my mom
the peels.
doesn't do. She looks so young. She's 76.
Yes. She looks unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Even Ben's mom is really so pretty and she doesn't do all that stuff.
She doesn't do Botox?
No.
Oh, she looks so young.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And she has gray hair.
Yeah.
And I think she looks adorable.
Yeah,
like
she does
every
look
time I
adorable.
see her, I'm like, she's adorable.
Yeah.
And she's very natural. And I think it's better than the frozen face. I mean, I like the frozen face too, but it's hard.
Really? Like whose face?
Like our Botox lady. She's fully frozen.
I know, you like that? I don't think she looks good.
Well, she looks like she's trying to look frozen.
So who with a frozen face do you look at and go, I want to look like her?
J-Lo.
I don't think she does all that though. Do you?
She has to. She looks so young.
I think it's all like the moisturizing and, well, you know, the other things that they do.
Yeah.
That are really bad.
Adrenochrome.
Oh, God. Let's move on.
Beep it out. Beep it out.
I saw, we're all over the place today. We did have an outline, Pod Daddy.
Yeah, we
but
did.
But we've gone away from it a little. But I did see my niece get born. My sister-in-law had a baby on Saturday, and it was the coolest thing I've ever
talk about this. Yes.
seen in my life. I had C-section, so I only pushed.
But when you're delivering, you don't feel, because I've watched it and I've given birth, it's not the same.
It was the coolest, most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yes. Were you crying?
And the vagina is crazy.
Crazy. Were you
like
crying?
An animal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When it came out, like bawling.
Bawling.
And my family's not very emotional, so I was the only one crying.
You were the only one crying?
Troy, probably. My brother-in-law, because he's like me, but no.
Yeah. See, I'm not emotional, but I cried. But I was probably emotional back then. I saw CJ get born.
Yeah, that's so cool, too. That's her son that she adopted.
But I've delivered vaginally, and it's not the same. And then
your vaginal delivery though was traumatic, though.
Right. But when you're doing it, you're not watching it.
Oh, it is.
Watching the vagina, though, it's crazy how big it gets.
The vagina, well, and it's like when the head's down there, the whole vagina is like protruded.
It doesn't look like a vagina.
No, it looked like a vagina for most of it for me. It was so quick.
But it's big.
It didn't. Like,
see, she had a lot of pushing, so it was like it was open for a long time.
No, see, my sister-in-law's wasn't. It was like nothing, something, and over.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. No,
so I didn't see it get very...
Hers was a traumatic birth type thing, too, where it was stuck. Oh, so it was open. So you could see how big. Then I'm like, that's crazy that goes to that.
So it was so fast when the baby came out.
Oh, yeah.
But the head was out first, and it was all... like mangled, and Bonnie, my mother-in-law, was like, I don't think his baby's okay. Because the veins were all, and I was all, oh gosh. And it's just the coolest thing ever.
It's like I obviously believe in God, but if you didn't believe in God and you saw that, I feel like you'd believe in God. It's the most it's like a miracle. Like you can't describe it.
And they did this thing that we didn't do. It's so funny. Like we've been in medicine for years and years, but like they did the delayed clamping of the umbilical cord. Yeah. It was so crazy. So the umbilical cord.
It's still like giving.
Oh, yeah. It's so thick. Like she was like, the hospital they deliver at is very natural.
Yeah.
So she was teaching like us and she was like, see how thick it is?
Yeah.
And we waited for it to shrivel down. It was so cool.
Yeah.
How the body works. It was really amazing.
So cool.
But we were going to go into off topic. We do kind of plan what we talk about nowadays. And I've been all over the place today because I did have surgery, and I'm not going to lie. I did take something today, so it might be a little off.
Yeah, she was like...
I was all, Tisha, I don't feel great, so I took a pain pill today, so it could be a little weird.
She was laying down in the car on the way here. I was
so if I'm all over the place, we're just, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But anyways, we were going to talk about dating and Tinder dating.
Yes.
Because my daughter has been in high school and been dating. We've talked about that a little bit. Not on Tinder. Mm-hmm. I don't think she'll do Tinder in high school. I'm not against it though. But we were talking about...
Our friend got married from Tinder and they're very happy.
We like to talk about dating a lot. Not that we've killed it, but I do feel like we were so confused and then we figured it out and met our husbands.
Yeah, because I think we've killed it. Because I feel like we were lost and then now we did really good.
We're found, like the Bible.
Yeah.
So...
like we're on the other side, so listen to my advice.
Yes.
Yes.
And we've helped our friends get to the other side.
Even at the party, we were talking to some of the high school girls.
Yeah.
And
my daughter's birthday party this weekend.
And we had her daughter's 15.
And my daughter likes a big party.
Yeah, she's,
year,
I don't know where she gets it from,
Every year, it's just a bash.
Yes.
With no alcohol. It was great.
It was so fun. Anyways, there was all the high school girls. There was older girls there because she's on the cheer team. So there was like 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds. So we were talking to some of them about dating. The one girl we were talking to, we were telling her this guy's been jerking her for years.
She's the most adorable girl on the planet. Christian.
Obsessed with her. So cute.
And they've been so they dated for a year. And then they've been talking for like 2. I'm still mad about it too. Talking. This is the new thing, the talking. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, the talking.
So they say it's texting, then it's talking, Then they said something else.
Talking is dating. It's not exclusive.
Then there's situationships that happen.
Who is doing this?
Well, she's in a situationship, we decided.
Yeah.
Because it's more than talking, but not a relationship.
These are just all terms for a guy jerking you around.
Yeah.
Jerking around.
Yeah.
These are terms for a guy jerking you around,
yeah,
and you're acting like it's something because you want it so bad.
So how long talking do you think is appropriate?
5 minutes. So stupid. Like, have some respect, you know?
Wait, so so if Kennedy meets a guy.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And they go from nothing to talking, and it's like a decision to go to talking.
Yes.
So you go to talking 2 weeks. Do you think it's good?
Yes.
What about 3 weeks?
3 weeks is fine.
What's the longest you should be talking?
Not longer than a month.
I kind of agree. I think
if you need more than a month, like my grandparents got married in 3 weeks. They met and got married in 3 weeks, and they were married till he died for 50 years.
That's so cool.
My
parents got married super fast,
They were 18 and 17, and I think it's unbelievable. And they were like in love at the end the whole time. Like great marriage.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't need all that time.
I know. I think you're right.
And then they made a choice to stay married when it got hard.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Kyle and I only dated for 5 months, and it was funny because
some months for me.
You told me Tisha was dating an idiot when we got engaged. So it's like a mirror into your relationship.
Yeah.
So she was mad at me, not mad, but you're just still in the honeymoon phase. It's going to get worse.
Well, because it made me self-reflect. And I was like,
because you had been with him 2 years and it wasn't.
And I was all, if you don't marry me, like what an idiot, you know?
I know. You shouldn't have to do that. And I feel like.
No, you shouldn't.
My daughter was even getting into that. She was talking to someone for 2 months.
If you have to put a ultimatum, I'm not saying that it's not. I would say probably 90% it's not. I'm sure there's some that gave the ultimatum and they're happily married.
I have friends that are still married. They gave the ultimatum and it's fine.
Yes.
It's great.
Totally.
No, I know. For her, though, it's funny seeing dating through your daughter's eyes or your son's eyes. It's different, and you get sucked into the things too. Mm-hmm. I got sucked in. I really liked the kid, and
I'm so mad about it still.
I know.
I'm so protective of Maddie. I think she's just the greatest thing since sliced bread. She's such a good person.
Yeah.
She's such a good girl. She's she just is the total package. And I am just raging about.
So the talking didn't go well.
It did not go well.
They talked for 2 months.
He was jerking her around.
And then,
he was jerking other girls around too.
Yes. And then in the talking, is that cheating? I don't know.
Yeah.
The jury's out. Kyle says it's not because you weren't official.
Yeah.
But I think it is because you're in it talking. I think you should be talking to one person. But why then do you go to talking to relationship? What's the difference?
Nothing.
Yeah, the guys just make these things up.
It's made up to, exactly. It's made up to still, fill it out.
Yeah. I agree. I think you should know sooner, but it's hard to explain these things because you want them to learn by going through it themselves.
Yeah.
But it took me the things that I had to go through to learn. I don't want her to go through all that because I do think you get relationship baggage.
Right.
When you go through Tisha and I both dated guys that were drug dealers. I was just telling the cheerleaders this.
I dated 2 drug dealers. That's really weird.
And Ben stopped selling years ago.
How many? No, not Ben. But how many people deal drugs? That's weird.
Yeah, I know. Mine was a big time dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just strange because I didn't know there was that many drug dealers in the world.
Me neither.
Yeah.
In Peoria too.
Yeah.
Well, it was Glendale.
Yeah, it's not like we were in the cartel, Tijuana.
In LA.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
We were both dating drug dealers.
Yeah.
And mine would come to church with me every Sunday and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who listens to this stuff, but
I had no idea mine was a drug dealer.
We get along great.
He had a really nice car and we were in our 20s and a nice house. And now that I'm looking,
and he didn't go to work.
I see exactly. No job, nice car, nice house, went on trips. Now I'm seeing all the signs. I'm like, oh, he was fully a drug
my boyfriend
dealer.
had such a nice car too.
Yeah, what an idiot.
I know. And
but I don't want Kennedy to date drug dealers. You're better
what
than
would
that.
you do? Would you step in?
Yes.
How?
You're not talking to him anymore.
But what if she talks to him on the side?
I can cut certain things off. I'm not paying for your phone. I'm not paying for your car.
I agree. So I was getting to that point now.
I didn't have parents telling me these things.
I was like, if you talk to him, you'll never drive.
My mother was like, marry the one drug dealer. And I was like, this is weird.
No, she was like, have a baby.
Yeah.
She was skipping marriage.
She was like, come to our Christmas party.
Shut up. That was a dig. Okay, moving on. Anyways, so then we were talking about Tinder and some of our friends. So we're telling my daughter now, it's my 2 moms. We talk on speaker and we both talk to her.
I know. Do you think she hates me?
No, she loves you.
Okay.
And she listens. She totally listens. And I love like all my exes. I'm still friends with them all, the drug dealer and all. I'm
not judging.
And that's where she gets mad at me. I'm sometimes too forgiving sometimes. But our last podcast, we talked about loving everyone. So I'm trying to love everyone.
So she's really implementing that.
I'm implementing that. I really liked, his family and everything. But so now Maddie has other options, and we're trying to teach her, sometimes it's better to go for a guy that's more into you than you're into him.
Yes.
And she's like not getting it because the one guy was like the guy and the guy and no,
the new guy is more the guy to me.
Yes. So there's a newer guy and
I'm so into the new guy.
Yes. And so he's into her and she's like, I don't know, And we're like, no, it's so much better. Both of us, I feel like Kyle was more into me than I was to him.
I feel like Ben was more into me.
Yes. And some of our friends, the healthier relationships, like our friend Jamie and Aaron.
Yes.
Oh, it's like he was so...
Our friend, the Tinder, she was dating this other guy and he was jerking her and she went crazy. She keyed his car.
Wait, tell the story.
Oh, she was dating this guy and he would
Our friend.
Yes, they met on Tinder and then they would like hook up and he would only call her at night and it was like super unhealthy. And then something happened. I can't remember the exact story, but she was at his house. He kicked her out. So she took a rock and scratched his car. I think she wrote something. But anyways, then...
How do you kick someone out of your house, too? Did they do it and then he kicked her out?
I think so, yes.
It made you feel like crap.
Oh, like awful. And he was like messing with her mind.
Yeah.
And so...
I feel like...
And so and then like, she's not even crazy. And she did that. And like... Well, I guess she is crazy.
She's a good time.
Yeah, I love her.
She's the best.
So anyway, so then she met the new guy, and then he was so into her. And I remember her calling me. I vividly remember I was at Arrowhead Mall, and she called me, and she's like... And she had been calling me, telling me this guy's so annoying. And he wants to go to Sedona and like all this stuff. She's like, God, he planned this trip to Sedona. He's so boring. And he was obsessed with her. And she was like, oh, he's obsessed with me. And like, he's so dumb. And like, God, he's like calling me all the time. And she was still hung up on the other guy. I'll never forget. I was walking at Airman and she called me and she's like, I'm in love. And this is literally probably 3 weeks or maybe a month.
It just changed.
It flipped, the flip. And I go, what? And she goes, I'm in love. I'm like, who? Like, I'm thinking it's a new guy she met. I'm like, who are you in love with? She's like, the guy, the one that's been, and I go, I thought he was annoying. She's like, no, we went to Sedona and it flipped. And like, I have goosebumps.
I remember when Kyle
I literally have goosebumps. They're married now, happily married, 2 kids. And she's like, it flipped. I like him so much. She was like...
Mine flipped too.
And he just kept loving on her and she would dick him around so bad. She was like, she would blow him off. She was rude to him. She's like, I was mean. Like, she told me he's annoying. Like, it was crazy. And he just kept loving her.
Well, guys want to hunt.
And then he got her.
Yes.
Yes.
And they change when you get married. I was telling Maddie last night. And like, Dad was so nice. And like so about me. And
when
like
you're dating, they should be overly nice. Because when you get married, they're not that nice.
No, they're not that nice. No. And they have an opinion. He has an opinion on everything now.
Yeah. And Ben was rude to me the other day. And I was like, I hit him with the pillow. You know? Oh, he's so rude. God. Jerk. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben was telling on her to me in the background.
I know.
Tell her about the pillow.
On me. Yeah. It's stupid.
Well, because Ben and I are the same.
Well, because we were laying in bed and he had just come home from hunting. His Ranger broke down. He had to walk like 6 miles in the dark.
And you didn't feel bad for him?
No. And he got home at midnight. I'm like, well, you chose to go hunting. This is a risk. So he got home at midnight. Well, I forgot to get milk because he makes our lattes in the morning. So when I woke up in the morning, I remembered I forgot to get milk. And we had like... take the kids and I go, shoot, I forgot to get milk. I'll go run to Starbucks or I'll go run get milk right now or I'll go to a well and get us coffee. And then he's like being such a jerk. And he's like, how could you forget? Like, what are you doing? And he was being such a jerk. And I was like, God, you're just a jerk. And I just like took the pillow and I hit him as hard as I could in the face. And then he was so mad at me all day.
Wait, in the face?
He hit me with a pillow. Yeah, as hard as I could too. You know, like I wound up and like I would have like.
Was he close to you?
Yes. Oh. Like I got out of bed and grabbed my pillow and just did it as hard as I could right in the face. And he was laying there and he was all like, and I was like, I'm going, you jerk, you know? He was being so mean.
I know.
But he was so nice when we were dating. Like,
Kyle too.
The nicest.
Oh my gosh, I always am like,
so
you were so easygoing.
When you're dating, they're going to be like
10 times a jerk.
You up. When yeah.
And the beginning is the best part. So if the beginning isn't good for like year at least, it's going to suck so bad.
Oh, so bad.
So you've got to go for the guy that's more into you than you are to him.
Yes.
Give it a chance. Because I remember I thought Kyle was like, oh. And then we go out this other night and he was with all of his friends
Yes.
and he was the life of the party and it flipped.
Yes.
And then it would flip
Well,
back
that's
and
what your
forth.
daughter was saying is I don't think he's that fun.
Yes.
And I was like, Ben wasn't that fun.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't seem that fun until you get to know him.
Once we were dating and I remember it was something and I was like, we were dating. We were going to go hang out and we were going to go like go to dinner or do something. And then one of my friends called. I think it was you or Jen.
Probably.
And something happened and you were sad. And I was like, hey, let's go pick up a cake and go take it to my friend's house. And he was like, well, we said we were going to dinner. And I was like, and I was so annoyed with him. And I was like, ew. And I had the ick. I was like, oh, he's boring. Like, and he wouldn't do this on a whim.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, I was so annoyed with him.
Did you not come?
No. And I remember I was mad. Like, it took me like a few days to get over it because I was like, he's not fun. Like, I'm the girl that's going to change my plans and go do something fun. And I was like, and he wasn't there for my friends. I was like all mad, you know?
Yeah, I would be so mad too.
Oh, I was so mad. I had to like tell him about it. And then he was like, sorry, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny. But you really got to find the values. The values. Who they are is so much more important.
And how they treat you.
Yeah, yeah. So go for the guy that's more into you.
So I'm telling her, so the flip, but then it flipped with Ben. So she's got to push through.
So we'll see if this flips. We'll keep you guys posted on
she's got to flip.
My freshman daughter's dating relationship. She's going to love this. But it helps.
Help somebody. Somebody might be going through it and they might be like, I'm more into this, or my aunts, and then we'll be done. My aunts came in town from Rhode Island last week.
Your what?
My aunts.
Why are you saying aunts?
Because that's what they say. Just like when you go to New Jersey and you start talking with an Italian accent and you're from here. Happens. My aunt Donna and my aunt Diane.
Aunts?
Aunt. Anyways, they were talking about their daughter, my cousin, and she was saying, yeah, she broke up with this guy and he was so nice, but she didn't feel it. And she's like, and she said, I bet she's going to look back one day and be like, he was the one. And sometimes we just got to get out of our head. And like, if a guy's so into you, give him a chance.
Oh, you're so right though. Cause you think, people always say that, like, I didn't have it. I didn't feel it. I'm like, I didn't feel it with Kyle for like a month.
Yes.
And we didn't kiss for a long time. And then when we kissed and I like respected him.
Yeah.
It's like the best, like
you said, you had to change your pants.
Yeah. And I did. Like, it was the best because you like respect them and you're like feel safe with them. It's Kyle and I's like chemistry is better than anyone, but it took a minute.
Yeah, and I think like the guy that the chemistry was so like there in the beginning, it fades.
It fades.
And when you're married, that is gone.
So
if that's what's keeping you there, that goes away.
That's why you shouldn't have sex though until you're married or until you're in a really far in, because the sex, like sometimes you can have good sex. I mean, I didn't do this.
Me neither.
But you can have good sex with someone and it be a horrible relationship.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I didn't do it.
Like Crystal had good sex with like 30 people and then it wasn't a good relationship.
No, I waited till I was married. But I've heard that people can have good sex. But that's why, like with Kyle, I wasn't doing that. Because I was like, I don't want it to mask what our real relationship is. And once a girl has sex, they connect and then you can't think clearly anymore. Right. So it's better to not do those things so you can walk when you want to walk. And girls care about upping their number. It's called body count now.
Yeah.
Kendall told me some girl at the school, they call her body count 7.
Oh, God.
Yeah, freshman.
Yeah, someone told me that term this weekend. They said she has a body count. And I was like, what the hell is that
Body count. It's like murder count.
I know. I was like, did someone kill somebody? Like,
no, it's how many people. Oh. You don't want a high body count, girls. Keep that thing low.
Oh, no.
Because then it'll sag.
Well, and it's just like guys care about that.
Oh, they so care. They want the one that has a 0 body count that hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
That's sad.
I know. So don't do it. Like the guy that.
I'm learning all these new terms. I
know.
Can't believe it.
It's stressful.
Body count?
I know. Body count. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Make sure he's more into you than you are to him. If you're married, it changes. You got to,
Yeah, because then it balances.
Yeah, it does. And then what else? Don't buy a Tesla, robot. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.